uncovering ancient pyramid science at Teotihuacan, where men became gods. Let's remember that we have various places in the world that have ancient pyramid structures. It's still a mystery as to who constructed them and why. We have them in ancient Egypt, here in Peru, Teotihuacan, Guatemala, Mexico, China, and even in North America, even in Europe. Now, why were these created? We've already read the emerald tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean. He claims that several Atlanteans escaped the sinking continent of Atlantis before it sunk to its final demise. And he tells us there were various Atlanteans who had converted to the good life. And he says that many of them went all over the world. They had a lot of advanced ancient technology. They even had the knowledge of space travel, interstellar travel, and even interdimensional travel. He states that because of their misuse of technology, it was by divine intervention that Atlantis was sunk. He says that the Atlanteans that had escaped went to various locations of the earth. Funny that most of these locations are found on the earth's ley lines. And the first thing they did was establish cities with pyramids. And he was crediting himself with establishing the Giza pyramids. And he says that he even had a spacecraft which was buried under a sphinx in a plateau of pyramids. We don't know if that's Giza or somewhere else. But let's keep that in mind. And I'll leave a link below for you for the playlist of the Emerald Tablets. Very important if you have the time to know about that, what kind of technology they had. So this has to do with the Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan's Lost Kings. It was a television special. It took an hour-long look at the great city, its inhabitants, and the excavation of the temple of Quetzalcoatl, known as the Feathered Serpent Pyramid. The program revealed evidence of advanced engineering built into a tunnel system and placed directly underneath the pyramid. As a team excavated the tunnels, viewers witnessed what must be considered the interior of an ancient generator. Well, we know we have tunnels and even underground cities in the Giza Pyramid Plateau and other pyramid plateaus of ancient Egypt. So, yes, tunnel systems underneath the pyramid. The team excavated the tunnels. Viewers witnessed what must be considered the interior of an ancient generator where combinations of chemical, mineral, and water and possible electromagnetic fields were introduced into chambers, resulting in some form of energy. How and where this energy was delivered is still unknown, but based on the design of the complex, we can now speculate as to how the entire facility may have operated. Note that I have purposely called Teotihuacan a facility, as this is exactly what it was and not a city, as many speculate. And here's their amazing discovery. Mysterious tunnel. In 2003, archaeologist Sergio Gomez was walking by the temple of Quetzalcoatl when he noticed a large crack in the ground, approximately 20 feet or 6 meters from the foot of the stairs. Recent rains had opened a surface area, leaving a noticeable divot and exposed tourists to possible injury. Gomez, who had worked at Teotihuacan for over 30 years, inspected the site and determined that something curious lay underneath. Teotihuacan is considered an archaeological park, and most archaeologists know that every square foot of land can hold artifacts and important evidence as to past history of the area. Gomez is a member of the National Institute of Anthropology and History, INAH, received permission to investigate the area, and later that year assembled a team of experts who began carefully removing surface debris. Archaeological excavation is a slow process, and as they worked their way down, they uncovered a round shaft, similar to a well, perfectly crafted of cement and stone. So the archaeologist Sergio Gomez was lowered into the perfectly formed stone and cement well shaft that passed underground 14 feet and opened to a deep cavern. At the time of the pyramid's assembly, The shaft may have delivered a combination of water and chemicals which reacted directly underneath the pyramid, delivering its charge to nearby pods. Unknowingly, they'd uncovered the main access point to the original design of the complex that dropped down over 40 feet or 12 meters. As they descended down into the shaft, which opened into a cavern, they cleared over 400 tons of dirt, debris, and portions of discarded buildings, carefully looking for artifacts. Once in the cavern, they noticed a space that had been carefully cut out of solid bedrock and opening into a large tunnel. Before the team began removing the debris that blocked entry to the tunnel, Gomez had the space laser scanned to determine its depth and other clues to its formation. The scans returned images of precisely cut tunnels that ran more than 330 feet, it's 100 meters, under the pyramid. The scan also revealed odd pockets or small repositories that dropped down from the main shaft and which had the appearance of small rooms. As the team began to excavate the tunnel, they made the first of many discoveries of artifacts and tools left by those they reasoned were the builders. At the 100-foot mark, or 30 meters, over 50,000 artifacts were recovered, leading the team to consider a royal tomb was close by. Strange pyrite spheres were discovered. The excavation team also found the first of a number of chemical and mineral deposits buried in the dirt. Hundreds of golden spheres were uncovered in various states of decomposition. They were composed of pyrite, that is, fool's gold, and a mixture of adobe and crushed rock. Gomez had also noticed that the walls were covered in pyrite, which gave off a strange glow-in-the-dark effect in the unlit portions of the tunnel. Okay, so could this have been used for lighting without fire to smoke up the place? Gomez noticed the walls covered in pyrite, which gave off a strange glow-in-the-dark effect in the unlit portions of the tunnel. And careful to check the remaining area, Gomez requested another laser scan of the tunnel to determine what lay ahead, and to his surprise, the shafts ended in a cross-shaped structure, the center positioned directly under the highest point of the pyramid. The 3D laser scan created by a drone shows that depth and length of the tunnel carved into solid bedrock. The small cavities, or the lower spaces in the tunnel, may have been chemical mixing chambers, as evidenced by the water, pyrite, mercury, and radon gas that were discovered there. As of this writing, the excavation continues in an attempt to discover a royal tomb, but there are a number of critical discoveries which point to the actual purpose of the tunnel system. First, it's believed the artifacts and offerings were left by the people who rediscovered Teotihuacan over 1,800 years ago and had nothing to do with the original design of the system. So the people that discovered this about the time of Jesus Christ, they didn't build it. And they had no idea what this was for. The original design, what this thing was meant for. A number of important clues offer us a glimpse of the original intent of the pyramid complex and other components which make up this discovery. Now, the geomagnetic fields and the pyramids, as we said before in the beginning, and most of these pyramid structures are found on ley lines and geomagnetic fields. Now, recent discoveries in ancient pyramid engineering have suggested that a large number were designed as some form of energy generators by different cultures around the world. In some locations, including Central and South America, construction techniques appear to have been shared. John Burke, a businessman and scientist, made an important discovery on pyramid electromagnetic energy in 2005. Burke had detected geomagnetic discharge at a number of North American and European megalithic and mound sites, including Stonehenge, the Serpent Mound in Ohio, and a variety of smaller stone enclosures up and down the eastern coastlines of the United States, using state-of-the-art scanning equipment, including a magnetometer and an electrostatic voltmeter. He was able to determine that each location had been chosen because of its natural occurring telluric energy field that pulsed up and into the structure or the surrounding area. And what these sites were used for is anyone's guess. But we now understand that they may have a positive effect on human physiology and greatly enhanced crop seeds. What's baffling is how the builders knew how to find the telluric fields without scanning equipment. Remember that in one of my past videos concerning the construction of ancient Greek temples and ancient temples, even the ancient temple of Jerusalem that Solomon built had columns all around it. It was not just the two big columns on the front of the temple. There were columns all around the temple. And we know that the ancient Greeks also built columns because of the fact that when people used to go into the temples and pass the columns, because of the geomagnetic energy that would come flowing from the ground into the columns and up, the people that were passing this field were passing some type of a geomagnetic positive energy field, and it would be beneficial to their health. Okay, it would be beneficial to their health. And all these temples were located on ley lines of Earth's geomagnetic system. Now that's just my input here, so that I can refer you to that. So, what these sites were used for is anyone's guess, but we understand that they may have a positive effect on human physiology and greatly enhance crop seeds. What's baffling is how the builders knew how to find the telluric fields without scanning equipment. Well, obviously they had advanced technology and obviously had the ability to do this very easily. Now, sensing there might be more to electromagnetic energy enhancement, Burke began scanning pyramids complexes in Central America which were designed with a high level of precision. He would eventually learn about a specific pyramid at Tikal, an ancient Maya city in Guatemala, which was used by the local farmers to enhance their seeds. It was known as the Mundo Perdido, Spanish for Lost World Pyramid, and considered one of the oldest pyramids in the entire complex. This was about 600 BC. Burke and his research partner, Kaj Halberg, discovered electromagnetic signatures that measured impressive charges on top of the pyramid, and in a series of scans, the readings showed an average charge of 908 volts over a short period of time, which was concentrated in the early morning hours. Burke mentioned the readings and states, "These voltages might sound lethal if it were a household current they could be. However, static electric charge in the air is a different type of electricity, and even 1,000 volts is not dangerous." His discovery of pyramid field generation is fascinating, but what he actually uncovered was a means of generating and perhaps distributing electromagnetic energy within a pyramid complex. What we don't know about the Lost World Pyramid is if it has other components built into its construction, similar to the Pyramid of the Serpent. We now understand that a number of Maya pyramids, there are key components designed in their construction that act as magnifiers. These components appear to be important in the creation, magnification, and distribution of telluric fields. 1. Water, either moving naturally, including rivers, or cenotes found at El Castillo and Chichen Itza, or by artificial canals or tunnels, similar to the temple of inscription found at Palenque. 2. Geomagnetic fields, naturally formed telluric fields that have high and low period throughout day and night. 3. Pyramid design. The specific pyramid shape appears to greatly enhance the telluric fields that pulse up and into the center of the chamber. 4. Pyramid interior fill. At a number of pyramids, rocks that are good electromagnetic conductors fill the interior of the pyramids that are used to enhance the pulsing field. Rocks that have veins with quartz, granite, and other electrical conducting properties also appear to be favored. Now, the chemical and mineral discoveries that Gomez made at Pyramids of the Serpent have many of the same properties found at Maya pyramid locations, with a few twists. Now, what made the pyramid run? As Gomez and his team were excavating the tunnel, they discovered watermarks high up on the wall. The mark runs the entire length of the tunnel, indicating the space would constantly fill with water. The marks are almost black and appear to have been etched with some chemical concentrate. The transportation of water was delivered through the stone well shaft from the surface and directed to flow over specific regions of the tunnel. Let's remember that we have water running under the Giza pyramids, and we also have water running under the Bosnia pyramids. So obviously these were somehow very similar to this Teotihuacan pyramid of the serpent. Now, recent discoveries of mineral and chemical residue and the design of the well shaft, cavern, and tunnel system allow one to conclude that the underground system was designed to create some type of discharge which may have taken place in the small chamber that leads to the main cross-shaped configuration at the end of the tunnel. This discovery of water, minerals, and chemicals has never been a consideration of Gomez or other archaeologists whose main goal is excavating the tunnel. In the last few years, though, the following chemicals and minerals combinations have been uncovered in large quantities throughout the tunnel system. Pyrite, or fool's gold, and pools of mercury have been uncovered, and a few years ago, radon gas was detected passing through a number of areas of the tunnels, requiring workers to wear protective breathing gear. If you combine these elements and a geomagnetic telluric field, the effects may be many times what was detected by Burke at the Lost World Pyramid. This is a profound discovery. An ancient unknown science designed to create energy directed up and into the pyramid is fascinating to consider and must be analyzed further, of course. Unfortunately, we're left with more questions than answers. Who were the builders of Teotihuacan? Now, this article was from Ancient Pyramid Source at Teotihuacan, Where Men Became Gods, originally from Ancient Origins, published here under Creative Commons on Collective Spark by Steve McCamley. Please leave your comments. I think it's fascinating that they had these pyrite balls, these fool's gold, with adobe clay and whatever else they put on it, in order to put them on the walls, and they would light up the area. Isn't that something? We learn something every day. This is amazing what type of technology these people had. Really advanced technology. They were using earth energy. I'm sure Tesla knew something a lot more than this, and we were led to believe. Free energy from the earth. So please leave your comments. Thank you. Subscribe and share. Ring the bell for more videos. And God bless you. And thank you for your support. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.